What's up, YouTube? Cleveland Sports TV here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking Cleveland Browns football and 5 players who I think they should take a look at come NFL draft time. So yeah, today's Sunday, January 6th, the first Sunday in a long while where we have not had Cleveland Browns football, which kind of sucks because the year was fun. I mean, the Browns finished 7-8-1, way above a lot of people's expectations. Baker Mayfield and the rookie class played really well this year. A lot of people think Baker Mayfield will win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He has my vote, slightly over Saquon Barkley just because of the quarterback position and him playing for the Cleveland Browns and what he was able to do, turning the Browns from an 0-16 team to a 7-8-1 team. And he only got to play 14 out of the 16 games this year. Let's face it, a lot of people think if he would have started from day one, the Browns would be in the playoffs. But if my aunt had testicles, she'd be my uncle. So that's neither here nor there.
That's what she said.
All right, so like I said, 5 players who I think the Browns should take a look at. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and don't forget, if you do want to comment, go ahead and comment in the comment section what players you think the Browns should take a look at, what the Browns should do with their draft picks, so on and so forth. But thanks again, guys, for watching, and let's get to the video. All right, so first on my list, I have Rashan Gary. He is a defensive tackle out of the University of Michigan, sitting in at 6'5", 283. So a big, long body. A lot of people want to see him jump up in weight a little bit, especially if you're going to look for him to be playing defensive tackle. So if we can get him, as close as you can get him to the 300-pound mark, the better, they say. This guy was actually thought of as being maybe a top 5, top 10 pick coming into the year. Did have some issues, did miss 3 games because of injury. However, this guy to me fits the Browns culture, fits what the Browns are about, and especially after seeing how Peppers plays on the field, to me, I want a guy like this on that defensive line and up the middle to help with that run stop and to just, let's face it, get after the quarterback, because that is a lot of what the NFL is about in today's game. So Rashan Gary first on my list. Let's move to the next one. Next up, we have Ed Oliver, University of Houston. Ed Oliver comes in at 6'3", 292, so he is a bigger body, but do not let that fool you because this guy is quick off the line. A lot of people think he has the best first step in the NFL draft, coming out of the defensive tackle position. His knock on him, however, may be that he played at Houston. Houston this year played opponents like Rice, Arizona, Texas Southern, Tulsa, South Florida, which is no gimme at times, but they were a terrible program this year. Tulane and Memphis with a better football club this year, but you get the point, guys. The competition's a little bit weaker, and I would love to see the Browns add him if he's available come pick 17, because like I said, I think the Browns' biggest need is on that defensive front and especially up the middle. As the Baltimore Ravens showed us, they just ran for 300 yards on us. We see them twice a year. We also have guys like Joe Mixon, James Conner, and Bunch, who are still in this division as well. So to me, the emphasis is on stopping the run. So you got Ed Oliver here, and my last one was Rashan Gary. So 2 defensive tackles. But let's move on to the next one. Next we have Devin White out of LSU. Devin White comes in at 6'1", 240. He's a middle linebacker. When I mean he's a middle linebacker, he is all over the field. This guy has true 4.4 speed. And when you watch some of this guy's film, he is all over the field. And one thing that I think the Browns are lacking is that linebacking general who is just a stud, who's going to get you 100+ tackles a year, can cover in the secondary, but can also get after the quarterback. I know Joe Schobert has had a couple good years. However, I think Devin White can make this defense a top 10 defense by coming in and just plugging up the middle of the field in a year. I look at what the Bears did in drafting Roquan Smith, a player I was so high on coming out of Georgia, I believe, as well as Khalil Mack, and it instantly turned that Chicago Bears defense into the best defense in the league. So with myself, I think if you add a guy like Devin White to go with Joe Schobert, Christian Kirksey, who's coming back, Myles Garrett, DeMarcus Lawrence, Clay Matthews, Jadeveon Clowney, who I'd like to see them add come free agency time, I think this defense could be top 10, top 5 material with guys like Peppers, Randall, and Ward in your secondary. But yes, Devin White out of LSU, probably one of the best middle linebackers in the draft, and to me, maybe my favorite defensive player in this year's draft. Next, we have Devin Bush out of the University of Michigan. Devin Bush comes in at 5'11 and 233 pounds, so he's a little bit smaller than your prototypical outside linebacker, but do not let that fool you, as this is one of the best defensive players in the country. He could do it all. He can definitely get after the quarterback. He can stop the run. The only thing that you could knock him for is his speed, I believe. I believe that his knock on him is his speed, especially when it comes to covering guys like quick tight ends and slot receivers. But don't quote me on that. But Devin Bush, University of Michigan, another guy who I think will just fit the Cleveland Browns culture and what it means to be a Cleveland Brown. Hard, tough, AFC North football. So yeah, I would love it. I would like to see Devin Bush in a Browns uni if possible. Let's move on to the 5th and last pick. I saved the offensive player for last. This sexy pick, as a lot of you would say, A.J. Brown out of Ole Miss. This is your wide receiver one, your can't miss wide receiver in the draft in my mind. 6'1", 230. He's also only a junior. But when you watch this guy on film, he has the it factor. We know we have Baker Mayfield with the it factor with the Cleveland Browns. You don't know what it is about him. He just has it. And when I watch A.J. Brown on film, especially playing in the SEC, he just has it. He seems to always be open. He seems to make the better cuts off of his route. He seems to attack the ball with his hands. He can make you miss, and when he's in open field, see ya. So I know a lot of people think the Browns' big need is a #1 wide receiver. However, I don't think that's their biggest need. I wouldn't be mad with this pick if they did decide to go offense. I just have a feeling, a weird itch, that Baker Mayfield and A.J. Brown would be an amazing duo moving forward. So with the 5th and last player who I believe the Browns should take or take a look at come draft time is A.J. Brown. So that does it with my list of 5 people. Like I said, guys, if you have anybody in mind, go ahead and comment in the comment section below who you would like to see and at what pick. But for me, I saved who I want the Browns to draft for last. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, so for me, I want to see the Browns find a way to get Dexter Lawrence. He's a 6'4", 350-pound defensive tackle. Now, a lot of people think he is more of a nose tackle type of player. He wouldn't really fit your 4-3 defense. However, I think that's wrong. I would love to see the Browns go after Dexter Lawrence, and I'm going to show some film here to kind of exit out of the video and to say goodbye to you guys. Like I said, do not forget to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to comment if you have any more ideas. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Very tough, very strong-minded, very mentally strong, and that's what I love about Dexter. He wants to go out there and dominate every play. He wants to be a grown man on the field.
Evans from the pocket takes a look downfield and then is swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. It'll be Dexter Lawrence, the freaky freshman.
Move over, Refrigerator Perry. There's a bigger guy.